All right, today we are going to tie a parachute Quilldigon. So if you like the Quilldigon or parachute flies, go ahead and give this video a like and drop a comment on if you like the Quilldigon or just another perdigon style fly. Let us know in the comments. So let's go ahead and get started here. We got a Firehole Sticks 419 and size 14 in the vise. And we're going to get started with just some Veevus 10-aught. This is in an olive color. I like to get started about a quarter of the way back. Hook bend, or hook length. Trim that thread off and just work my way back. Where I can tie in the tail. The tail is just going to be some CDL. This is kind of a medium speckled color here. Do just 3 or 4 fibers. We're not looking for a huge amount. I like what ends up being about 3/4 of a hook shank. That's pretty good, maybe a bit on the longer side, but that's all right. And now, the Quilldigon has a little pearlescent tinsel here in the back, so I'm just going to tie this in. This is a size medium. So this fly just has just a couple wraps back here. Will come a little bit more forward than what I want. You really are kind of just having a hot spot back here. And go ahead and trim that out. And then for the body, we're just going to use some golden olive quills here. I really like how a quill body looks. Just something about them, they just look supernatural. They can be a little bit delicate, but they're completely worth it, in my opinion. Here we just want to make sure don't have a reverse taper. Looks like we're good here. And Gonna get one wrap started and then get my hackle pliers here to help me get the rest without losing my place. We just want nice touching turns here. That was almost not good, but we saved it. Broke off in my hackle pliers. So now a nice coating of some UV resin. This is going to be solar as bone dry, just to set that stuff. Got maybe a tiny bit too much. We'll try to a little bit of that off of there. Hit it with UV light. And go ahead and get our parachute post tied in. So with this, I like to use this McFlylon. To me, it's the easiest way for me to get a parachute post tied in. I can kind of tie it in like that, and then cinch it down with some cross wraps before I start getting it posted. Getting these posted, in my opinion, can some days it's super easy and the post plays nicely. Other days it just seems like nothing wants to go my way. So if your post is giving you a hard time, don't worry. I think it happens to everyone. I guess you can let us know if your posts ever give you a hard time. I like to do just a loose or a rough trim there before I get my hackles tied in, which I'm just going to go with a brown and a grizzly. Both sized to the size 14 dry fly hook. Just a brown and a grizzly. I like to tie them in together so you just kind of get them lined up. cooperate. Here you get to watch me fumble and bumble around. Trim out these butt sections here. Make sure these are in such a way that they will, yeah, those will work. Okay. For a little thorax on this, I know a perdigon doesn't have a thorax, but I'm just going to use some of this SLF Spiky Squirrel dubbing in olive. It's a really one of my favorite dubbings, and we'll be able to dub a really tight body on here, so we'll be able to get a nice tight thorax. So it'll be a nice small. Won't get too crazy big and bushy on us, which will keep this fly more closely resembling what we are kind of going after. Just a tiny bit more here. Make sure that this is there we go. Now I like to finish with my tying thread on the back side there so that I can get these hackles going. For me, it helps me whip finish underneath all of these hackle wraps. Just get a few. Let me just try to stay under most of those wraps, but on top of our butt ends. I might have trapped a couple fibers. We can trim those out. Then we're just going to come in here and trim these off, these butt ends off close. Might need to trim a couple of these on the back side. I like to come and make kind of a final cut on my parachute post. Then move that hook in the vise so that I can come in here and sneak a whip finish under all of this stuff. hopefully not trap a bunch of fibers that I'll need to trim, which isn't the end of the world. So then I get this back. How it needs to be situated normal in the vise. Trim that off. And you can come in with some UV resin or some head cement if you wanted. But then there is a parachute Quilldigon. So if you like the Quilldigon or parachute flies, go ahead and give this video a like, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.